Go ahead and bring me on. Hi, everybody. So we are now at the other segment. There's Leon.
And a little less about.
I didn't know I was going to be in yet.
Andrea. Oh, I missed the two of you. So some of you who haven't caught up with everything that we do in Adventure, Andrea is our amazing host for our show, which is now, what is the title now? It is Celebremos Nuestras Historias.
Perfect Spanish.
Poco. Si España poco. But thank you. We're just so happy that you're here today because you're going to help us introduce our Andres 1, 2, 3 segment, right?
Correct.
Yes. So I believe we have 2 segments. There's about 15 minutes each. So what I want to do is just like set up and explain Celebramos, and so that people understand what we're doing and why you feel it's important for everyone to see, as well as like our attempts at trying to reach a larger community that hasn't really been kind of directed toward, right? So. Yay! We finally got a Zoom Bob. That's awesome. We got a Bob.
No. She knew that we were not in.
See, my mom wanted to kind of pop in and say hi, but I was like, we have to go to the theater, and my mom, she's not driving over to the theater. But yeah, she would have been hilarious to jump in. So Andrea, did you want to kind of jump in, and because we had a very quick discussion early on. Remember when I asked you about this?
Yes. So. What we're doing with Celebremos Nuestras Historias is something beautiful and amazing that Adventure Theater came up. It is to recognize pretty much the Latin American Hispanic talent. We have amazing people with just such a great talent. So this is an amazing opportunity that we have every single month, once a month, where we introduce our talent, music or books or theater, or that's why we Celebremos Nuestras Historias, because we're celebrating our stories, our history, our culture. So it's been amazing. I think we start in October, Chill, if I'm not mistaken, or November. So it's been once a month, and it's been an amazing journey so far, presenting this in Spanish for our Latin American community in the area and worldwide with this technology.
Yeah. So, Andrea, did you want to just you can toss it to Andres 1, 2, 3. Yes. It's a concert segment. So, do you want to introduce them and then we can play?
Absolutely. So, Andres 1, 2, 3, we have them. That they were our first guests, and they're from Colombia, and they are bilingual, and they were Grammy winners, Grammy Latin winners. So, it's a pleasure to present a Colombian duet, a couple Grammy winners with this amazing video and music. So let's bring it on.
Yeah, so there's always like a there it is.
Hola. We are 1, 2, 3 Andres, and we are super happy to be part of Adventure Theater's Stream-a-thon.
Gracias por acompañarnos en el Stream-a-thon de Adventure Theater. Disfrútalo.
Hola, we are 1, 2, 3 Andres.
Hola Cristina.
Hola Andrés.
Hola Ancico.
Hola Pablo.
Hola, are you ready? Vamos a hacer una fiesta. Vamos, 1, 2, y 1, 2, 3, y hola.
Hola.
Oh, oh, 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 hola.
Oh, oh,
Mira.
hola.
It doesn't matter where you are from, if you speak English or Espanol.
It doesn't matter, there's nothing wrong. We cannot get along.
That's right, mira. Y no me importa de dónde sos, desde que tengas buen corazón.
Y no me importa cuál es tu idioma, desde que seas buena persona.
Ok, aquí va el coro. Ahora, yo canto y tú repites, yo canto, tú repites, yo
We
canto,
sing
tú repites.
and you repeat.
Right. Here we go, say. Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Canta conmigo.
Canta conmigo.
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Canta conmigo.
Canta conmigo.
We believe we can be friends no matter where we come from, no matter which language we speak. Ay, Cristina, vamos a saludar a los amigos de la banda. Todo el mundo repita después de mí. Digan, hola, Oli.
Hola, Oliver.
Hola, Oli.
Hola, Oli.
Hola, Zico.
Hola, Encico.
Hola, Pablo.
Hola, Pablo.
And we say hola, 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 hello to every one of you. Everybody say, hola, wiggle out loud. Hola, wiggle out loud.
Hola, wiggle out loud. Hola, wiggle out loud.
One more time, coro, dice, hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Canta conmigo. One more time. Say, hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
You'll be our friend.
Amigos. ¡Epa! ¡Cumbia, cumbia, cumbia! Dale, Pablito.
Cumbia. This rhythm was born in Colombia, and now we dance to it all around the world. Say cumbia. Cumbia. Well, for today's cumbia, we have a special dance. Here's the deal. We have different dance moves inside this jar, and we're going to be finding out what the dance is as we go along. Let's see what the first dance move will be. Look, it says hombros. Hombros means shoulders.
I wanna see. Yo quiero ver, a ver.
Hombros.
¿Hombros?
Hombros means shoulders.
Shoulders?
So we wiggle our shoulders,
Okay.
and then we finish saying cumbia.
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 Okay,
Very good. Here
shoulders
we go.
first.
Hombros.
Hombros.
Cumbia.
Cumbia. Ay, mira, viene otro. ¿Qué dice? Abajo.
Abajo. Andres,
Abajo.
can you show them what that means?
Ok, vamos. Abajo. Abajo. Así lo hacemos. Primero hombros, hombros, y después abajo. Y cumbia. ¿Cuándo decimos cumbia? ¿Al final?
Al final.
Okay, we say cumbia at the end. Here we go. Everybody say
Hombros. Hombros. Abajo. Abajo. Cumbia.
Muy bien. ¿Puedo yo sacar una ahora?
It's your turn to take one out.
Ok, a ver. Es mi turno. Es mi turno. Y vamos a sacar este. Todos son azules. A ver este, ¿qué dice? Dice... Oye. Wiggle, 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 wiggle,
Andres, it's because
wiggle.
it's a wiggle
Should we
out loud
wiggle? Should we
festival.
wiggle out loud?
We're gonna wiggle out loud.
¿Listo? Entonces dice hombros,
Hombros.
Abajo.
Abajo. And wiggle.
wiggle. Ok,
And
listo.
then
Y
cumbia.
Ok, vamos,
Here we go.
dice
Hombros. Hombros. Abajo. abajo, wiggle, wiggle, cumbia.
Eva. Ok, vamos a ver. Pablo, saca uno. Mira, a nuestro amigo Pablo saca uno. ¿Y qué dice? A ver, vamos a ver qué dice. Pablo saca uno, dice, mira, fuerte.
Fuerte means strong. What dance move can you do to show fuerte?
Así. Fuerte.
All right, here we go. Do you remember how it goes?
Ok, empieza hombros.
Abajo,
wiggle,
wiggle, fuerte, cumbia.
All right, vamos, dice así.
Hombros, abajo, wiggle, wiggle, fuerte, cumbia.
Vamos a hacerlo una última vez.
One more time. Do you remember the steps?
One more time.
Here we go.
Hombros.
Hombros, abajo, wiggle, wiggle, fuerte, cumbia.
Cristina.
Sí, Andrés.
¿Qué tienes ahí?
I've got my air guitar and you can pull yours out too. Una mano arriba, one hand up in the air, one hand down by your belly y toca música con nosotros.
Vamos a cantar así. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody, come right in. Welcome to this party. Let's play some music with your guitar. Vamos a cantar y a cantar y a cantar. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Para bailar la bamba. Para bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia y otra cosita. Y arriba y arriba. Ahí arriba y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Vamos. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Cristina,
Sí, Andrés.
vamos a calentarnos.
All right, let's warm up our
Así
body.
vamos todo el mundo bien, arriba, 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 hacia el
Arriba,
cielo,
up
arriba al
high.
cielo, y abajo
Abajo,
en el suelo,
to the ground.
arriba al
Arriba,
cielo,
abajo,
al suelo,
arriba al cielo,
arriba al cielo,
abajo al suelo.
abajo al suelo, así van, dice, abajo,
Abajo, abajo, abajo, arriba, 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 abajo, 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 arriba, arriba,
now,
arriba,
come on, everybody,
Arriba.
come on, get up, get up, get up, get up, wiggle out loud, get up and dance with us, like this. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Get up and play your guitar. Ven y canta esta canción. Ponle todo el corazón, porque vamos a bailar. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba.
You know, everybody goes through things that are difficult or challenging. Siempre hay momentos difíciles, but we say to you, don't give up. Show me your arms like this. Don't give up. And when we say keep it up, reach to the sky.
And we say la da 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 la da 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 You fought so hard, you thought you'd get some rest. But this challenge isn't over. Here's another test. And it feels hard, and it feels wrong. Why do you have to go through this while you're so young? Come on, la da 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 la da 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 da. I have a friend who went through this too. He asked me to tell everyone, and especially you. 1, 2, 3, come on! Don't give up, don't give up, keep it up, keep it up. Fill your heart with all the love around you. That will make you strong. Don't give up, don't give up, keep it up, keep it up. It's okay to cry, but dry your eyes and sing your song. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. You'll realize that you're so strong. One day it will be you helping someone singing this song. You will stand up and fall again. You'll understand this is the game. You have a soul, don't lose your faith. We are your team, we're here to stay. We are your team, we're here to stay. We are your team, we're here to stay. I have a friend who went through this too. He asked me to tell everyone, and especially you. Ahora vamos, hey, mira. Espera un momento y respira profundo. Siente la alegría, la belleza del mundo. Estamos contigo, amigo mío. Permaneceremos juntos en este camino. Cierra los ojos, visualiza tu futuro. Mira, yo entiendo, sientes que hay momentos duros, pero es como Mario el legendario que enfrentó al cáncer y venció a su contrario. Come on, don't give up, don't give up. Keep it up, keep it up. Fill your heart with all the love around you. That will make you strong. Don't give up, don't give up. Keep it up, keep it up. It's okay to cry, but dry your eyes and sing your song. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Come on! La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Manos arriba, todo el mundo dice. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Don't give up, keep it up now. La da 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 da. Sugar free stars, yeah. La da 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 da.
Yay!
That was great. Fantastic. Pablo, ¿cómo te pareció? Nosotros hablamos español porque en Celebremos Nuestras Historias estamos hablando en español.
Me encanta, Andrea, me encanta 1, 2, 3, Andrés, y me parece cuánta gente talentosa que tenemos en nuestra comunidad que pueden hacer tanto por la cultura latina, por los niños, por transmitir lo mejor y nuestras historias, ¿verdad? Así que me encanta Andrés. 1, 2, 3.
A mí también. Y los mensajes, their messages are amazing, like the last song that we were dancing and don't give up. Como no te dejes vencer, es un mensaje maravilloso para nuestra gente, sobre todo en estos momentos estamos haciendo este evento tan especial para Adventure Theater de esta manera virtual. Así que esa es una forma de llevar el mensaje de 1, 2, 3, Andrés, de Don't Give Up.
Exacto, y la verdad que estamos muy contentos de trabajar con un board de grandes personas de aquí, de nuestro condado, de nuestra comunidad, para invitados por Leon, por todo el equipo del Adventure Theater, para producir contenido en español, para incluir también a los niños latinos. Yo digo niños de 0 a 99 años porque cada vez que voy al teatro a ver una de las obras, creo que la disfruto más yo que mi hija, pero en realidad todos lo disfrutamos por igual, así que realmente muy contentos de poder estar haciendo esto y también contentos de que ya estamos en la preproducción de nuestra primera obra para cuando volvamos a teatro en persona, nuestra primera obra bilingüe español-inglés, así que estamos muy contentos de cómo vamos avanzando en esto.
Pero nada de esto sería posible sin sus donaciones. Este es un momento para invitarlos a todos los que nos están viendo a que le compartan a sus amigos, a sus vecinos, a sus familiares, a sus abuelitos, tíos, a todos a decirles que pongan su granito de arena, porque este es el momento de donar. Todas las donaciones son bienvenidas, todas las donaciones se reciben con mucho cariño para poder hacer esto posible. Adventure Theater es una organización sin ánimo de lucro y que ahora nos trae a nosotros on board en español, pero esto es posible gracias a sus donaciones y estamos haciendo este evento especial para que donen y digan, aquí estoy yo presente poniendo mi granito de arena por el arte, la cultura, la música y permitirnos llevar esta información en español para todos ustedes.
Y no es fácil y en especial no es gratis, ¿verdad? Producir contenido en español de calidad. Así que necesitamos el apoyo de todos los que nos están viendo, de sus amigos, de todo el network, de todos los latinos que estamos en el condado, para que podamos seguir produciendo. Es un desafío muy lindo el que tenemos adelante y necesitamos sus donaciones. De $20, de 25, de 250 si Jill va a cantar. Así que anímense y pidan una canción en español que él va a hacer lo mejor que puede, porque está estudiando español también. Así que, por favor, necesitamos la colaboración de todos ustedes.
Así es. ¿Y qué sigue ahora, Chill? What's next?
So the second segment for Andres 1, 2, 3. Let's roll video. Roll video.
And while we're waiting, you can donate Adventure 56651, texting Adventure to 56651.
Hey, Wiggle Out Loud, we've got rhythms and beats for you. So I've got my claves, and I'm going to do the clave rhythm. Pick up anything at home that you are using as an instrument and dance with us like this.
Listen to the clave, we'll teach it to you. We'll show you the clave, it's easy to do. Pa, 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 pa. Hey, ahora ya la sabes, tócala conmigo. Ahora ya la sabes, tócala mi amigo. Pa, 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 Ok, Cristina, dale, sigue, y vamos a bailar con la clave.
Let's do some salsa dancing because the clave rhythm is the heartbeat of salsa.
Ok, ¿cómo vamos? ¿Cómo lo hacemos?
Find somebody around, it could be a pet, it could be a stuffed animal, whoever, and do the clave together like this.
Así.
Here we go.
Pa, 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 pa.
Now hold your partner by your hands.
Así.
And get ready to twist and turn.
Ok, listo.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Pa, 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 pa. You know, the clave is the heartbeat of salsa.
Okay, let's practice, okay?
Oh, okay,
All right,
here we go.
And we say, to the
Front, center, back, center. Front, center, back,
faster.
front, center, back,
Center, front, center, back, center, front, center, back, center, front.
Give me
Va,
an
todos.
Oliver.
Pa, 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 pa. Okay, now.
Pa, pa.
Hey, Oliver. Okay, now everybody, this is the challenge. Todos con los dedos. Muy bien. Ahora con la boca. Y el último con los ojos.
With your eyes.
Excelente. All right, now. Last time, everybody get up and dance. Yeah. Hey. Dice, pa, 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 pa. Dale, 1, 2, 3. Ja, ja, ja. Cristina,
Sí, Andres.
vamos a hacer el mambo.
Let's do the mambo and let's parade all around your room wherever you are. Follow us.
Dice así.
Who? 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 You got it. When the saxophone stops, we freeze and say who, and say who, and say who,
Así.
who, who. You got it. Who,
Vamos.
who, 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 who.
Mambo, mambo, mambo.
Mambo, mambo, mambo,
Mambo, mambo, mambo.
mambo, mambo, mambo.
Cristina,
Sí,
¿qué tal si vamos caminando por muchos lugares mientras hacemos el mambo?
you're right. It's time for the parade. So come on, follow us. Here we go. Mambo, mambo, mambo. Who? 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 Who?
¿Por allá? Vamos, vamos, vamos. Por aquí damos la vuelta y seguimos bailando. Por aquí damos la vuelta y seguimos bailando.
Come on.
Por aquí vamos la vuelta y bailamos el mambo. Por aquí damos la vuelta y bailamos el mambo.
Who? We're back. Who? Who? Who?
Cristina,
Sí, Andrés.
llegó la hora de la locura.
It's time to get crazy. What do you mean?
A la cuenta de 3. A la cuenta de 3. Todo el mundo a bailar. A la cuenta de 3. Todo el mundo a bailar. ¿Listo? A la cuenta de 3.
Todo el mundo a bailar. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ok. 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Mambo.
Andres, it is such a beautiful sunny day today.
Es un día muy lindo.
But you know what? Even if it were raining, we would still do our best to be happy and be hopeful, because after the rain, we might see a rainbow. Here we go.
When I see a rainbow, I can't help but smile. When I see a rainbow in the sky. Whenever it starts raining, some people feel sad. But I feel so happy, I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
After the rain, the sun comes out. Something amazing can come about. Look up above your head. Look up, maybe a rainbow will make your day.
Now, Cristina,
See, Andres?
do you know the colors on the rainbow? Do you
I
know them?
do,
you
I
know
do.
them?
Roy G. Biv, they know them too. This is how it goes.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet too. This makes me so happy, I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
After the rain, the sun comes out. Something amazing can come about. Look up above your head. There was a storm, but now instead, look up. Maybe a rainbow will make your day.
Hey,
We'll make your day.
make your day.
We'll make your day.
See, Andres?
Now, wait, keep it going, because some of our friends
Uh-huh.
didn't catch all of the colors. Can
You
we go through
didn't?
the colors again?
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet too. This makes me so happy, I'll tell you why. After the rain, the sun comes out. Something amazing can come about. Look up above your head. There was a storm, but now instead, look up. Maybe a rainbow will make your day.
¿Sabes, Cristina?
See, Andres?
Me hiciste cambiar de parecer.
I'm glad that you can think about it in a different way now.
Si llueve, bueno, de pronto vemos un arco iris.
All right, Wiggle friends. It's almost time to say goodbye, but before we do, we want to teach you one more word in Spanish. This is the sign in ASL. Do you know what it is? Say salta.
Salta.
Salta. Salta means jump. So whether you use your fingers or your whole body, sing with us and move.
1, 2, 3. Come on, say. Salta.
Salta.
1, 2, 3.
Salta, salta.
1, 2, 3.
Salta, salta.
1, 2, 3.
Salta, salta.
1, 2, 3.
Hop and skip and jump with me. We're jumping together virtually.
Vamos todo el mundo saltando. Arriba, vamos como jugando.
Come on, everybody, let's see the crowd. We're jumping here at Wiggle Out Loud.
Okay, get ready to freeze. Vamos, dice 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Agachados, crouch down,
Crouch down, todos abajo.
1,
1,
2, 3.
salta, salta.
1, 2, 3.
Salta, salta.
I guess I needed more here on the front as well. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Dice 3. Say what is? 5, right? So 3. Here we go. 3. Agachados, crouch down.
Everybody down.
Vamos a saltar a la cuenta de 3.
1,
2, dos, tres. Salta, salta, uno, 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 dos, tres. Hey, mira, mientras toco la guitarra hablo y aquí está mi amigo Pablo. Así muy facilito, viene de Camerún mi amigo Nsiko. Now take it, take it, take it. Un, dos, tres. Salta, salta, uno, dos, tres. Salta, salta, uno, dos, tres. Salta, salta, uno, dos, tres. ¡Fuera! Salta, salta, uno, dos, tres. Andrés.
Thank you, Wiggle Out Loud. Hasta pronto.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Boom.
Santa, Santa, uno, dos, tres. I love this. This is going to be so much fun. As you can see, our Stream-a-thon is still continuing. We even have a live bit within this recorded segment, which was really cool because they were checking sound and they had to restart. So that was awesome. Hello, everyone. So thank you for joining us. We're in our second block of time for our Stream-a-thon, our 30-hour Stream-a-thon. Uno, dos, tres, Andres. Yes. So thank you for joining us. This is, we're just beginning our 30-hour Stream-a-thon. I believe Leslie's going to come out and join me. Leslie, our president of the board. Hello, Leslie.
Hello. How are you, Chill?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us today.
So glad to be here. You can't see my cord, can you? I don't know if you're aware of something called Rate My Skype Room. It is. Are you aware of it? Okay, so like they will deduct points if you can see the cord. And I don't usually sit in here, and I just don't want my cord visible. I want my 10 out of 10.
Well, see, this is why on purpose you see mine. Every time I'm in mine, I'm in either a green room, an actual green room, or I have curtains everywhere. So no one can see on purpose.
As you mentioned earlier, I usually show the backdrop, whether I'm there or not, of the sunset behind me at the beach, which you can bid on that beautiful house on the Outer Banks. You can come and see that in person live for yourself and not just, and I'm not even showing you the view. But I figured I'd show you my actual, sadly rainy day here that we're all in.
Oh, well, it's oddly enough, like we're the warm blanket.
Oh.
For the rainy day today.
Right. Yes, you can dance cumbia and you can eat chicken meatballs and yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So there's a bit of an echo. Let me figure this out. Why there's an echo. Okay, now the echo's gone. Great. So you were able to get us something really cool for our 5 questions, right? So just so everyone knows in the audience, we sent out a request for a bunch of folks to see if they would answer 5 questions for us. They all dealt with some kind of musical theater for theater, and like their first experiences. All these are performers of some kind. They're either on Broadway or on TV. And Leslie was able to get someone really special for us. Do you want to introduce who that is?
Sure. This is my cousin, who, even if you weren't my cousin, he'd be very cool. His name is Jason Drucker. He was the star of a TV show. He was just the best one on this show. It was called Every Which Way was it on Nickelodeon, I think?
Yes.
And then he was the star of the Wimpy Kid movie that came out a couple years ago. And if you drive south on 95 to Florida, you'll see his face doing some PSA on billboards all up and down. I saw this like, oh my God.
That's my cousin.
That's Jason. And he was also in Bumblebee. the Transformer movie Bumblebee. He played the little brother, and he's awesome. He's a really good actor, and he's a lovely guy. He's a very not actory kid. He's a lovely kid, and so he was very happy to come and do this for us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he was super sweet, and his video was awesome. So let's throw to the video, because it is Jason, as well as, let me get all the names, because I know we have a whole bunch of these. It is Jason. Let's see. I don't know why I don't have all the names in front of me. That's my fault. But Jason, the Russo family, and Raymond Lee, who's also a longtime friend of mine, who's been on multiple Broadway shows. So they are going to. So this next segment, go ahead and play it. So this next segment is that. So again, remember, text adventure to 56651. Adventure 56651.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Jason Drucker, and you may know me from my most recent film, Bumblebee, or you might remember me from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, in which I was Greg Heffley. My favorite thing to do when I first receive a new script, hopefully it comes in a digital format so I can download it to iBooks, and then I type in my character's name, and I get to see how many lines I have, how many scenes am I in. I just like to see how big is my role. What is the thing I wanted to steal from wardrobe, but of course I didn't? I so badly wanted the little pig from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Even the producer, Nita Jacobson, offered it to me, and I was all for it, but my mom didn't allow me to. But I still got to go home with this sick Twisted Wizard t-shirt. Bumblebee, I got this awesome Bruce Lee t-shirt. Barely Lethal, I even got to keep my cast, but every which way I didn't get anything. Do I love auditioning? Yes, 100%. Personally, auditioning, that's the work, Booking the role, that's the reward. So if there's no passion for auditioning, there's no reward anymore. So do I love auditioning? Yes. Every audition it's another chance for me to better myself as an actor. Something I must do before I go on set or on stage. Not many people know this about me, but I'm a very superstitious person, and honestly, I don't have too many rituals that I have to do before I go on stage or on set. One thing that is required, state law, got to do some schoolwork, obviously, before on set, and also many entertainers and performers know this. You gotta go to the bathroom before you go on set. It's a must.
Hi everybody, my name is Raymond J. Lee, and I was most recently in rehearsals for Once Upon a One More Time, the Britney Spears musical before COVID shut down everything, so I hope to be back on stage very soon. I have played the following roles on Broadway: Eddie in Mamma Mia, John in Anything Goes, Chan Elvis, Raymond in Honeymoon in Vegas, Ralph in Groundhog Day, and Iago in Aladdin. I have not received the legacy robe yet. I hope to one day, but I'm just excited to be on stage and do what I love to do. What is it like going to the first rehearsal? It is the best. People call it the first day of school for a reason. You have this amazing excitement. You can't wait to meet everybody. You can't wait to get the material. You just can't wait to start work because you train so hard and so long to be able to do this. So when you get the chance to do this, it's everything. I love the first day of rehearsal. Plus, you circle around, you meet everybody, everyone behind the scenes, the cast, the musicians. It's just a great time to finally meet everyone and start the process. A ritual I have before the show. I have to go through my lines and lyrics. I'm one of those people, I'm like, I just got to go through it once, and then I'll know it on stage. Sometimes I've entered the white room on stage, but I can't help it. But that's one of my rituals. Also, Sour Patch Kids before a song. It is not only delicious, but it helps get all the saliva going so I can hopefully hit my notes. Inclusion is super important to me, especially as a parent, because I want my daughter to grow up in a world where she sees herself on stage. on TV, in politics. Representation matters so much. That's why I show her all the Disney movies with the princesses who aren't Caucasian. I want her to know that she can be a princess. She can be the vice president of the United States. Yay, Kamala. It's very, very important. Also for me personally, I wish I had grown up knowing that there are more Asian American people on stage, because I think I would have believed earlier that I could have done this instead of wasting all those years of, do I be a doctor? Do I listen to what my parents want me to do? No, I'm glad I followed my dreams, and I'm so proud to be among so many fierce Asian Americans and POCs who are continuing to pioneer in this business. Oh, dream roles. Okay, dream roles. What are my dream roles? I want to play Seymour in Little Shop, Leo Bloom in The Producers, Mark in Rent. Mark is a huge, huge, huge dream role. Those are the few right now. I'm trying to think of anything else, but those are the big ones. I would love to play those. Thanks, Adventure, for everything you do and for having me. And I hope 2021 brings you all the amazingness and fierceness that the year will bring. Bye.
Hi, American Theater. I'm Christopher Russo. Broadway credits go way back for me. I was in Meet Me in St. Louis and The Grapes of Wrath, which was a play that was done with the Steppenwolf Theater Company way back in 1990. Most recently, I was in the Wicked tour for a long stint, 10 years in a row, dragging this one around with us.
Hi, I'm Isabella Russo, and I played Summer Hathaway in School of Rock on Broadway, and most recently I played Mary in Trevor the upcoming musical, which unfortunately rehearsals were shut down because of COVID, but I hope to get back to it very soon.
Question 1. What is your favorite Broadway memory? This is going to be cheesy, I know, but it's not of me performing, but that question, what immediately popped in my head was watching her opening night in School of Rock at the Winter Garden Theater. It's one of the best memories.
It's a lot less sweet when I say it, but that's also my favorite Broadway memory because you only get to open a show on Broadway for the first time once, and it was amazing, and I'll never get to experience anything like that again.
And knowing that excitement, it was so thrilling to know what she was experiencing, and then for my wife and I to share that. Question 2. Is it awesome being a family of actors, or is it stressful?
I would say that there are definitely more pros than cons to it because I, for one, get to take off of my parents' experience as actors, so I feel more prepared going into everything because they have experienced it before me. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think the stressful part comes from just the life of an artist. It's not a lot of security. It's a big question mark. When you do have a great part offered to you, it's thrilling. But a lot of it is there's a lot of rejection being an actor. What Belle said, I think what's been exciting for me as a parent is at least being able to offer, like she said, what I've been through in my career, to try and give her a step up. And I feel like by doing that, you handle it better.
Yeah,
she handles it much better than I have in my career, I'll have to say. Thrilling, yes, when you get a part. Stressful can be, yeah, no, but it's been exciting to share it.
Yeah. Overall, great experience.
3.
When Belle and Chris started to sing together, did you instantly know that this was what she was going to do?
When did we start singing together?
Well, in the living room from age 1, but we had done little things like karaoke night or Ronald McDonald benefits or benefits for friends, and I always had a great time. Honestly, I didn't know that this is what I was going to do up until I had my first audition, which was for Cosette in Les Mis, and I enjoyed it so much, and I was terrified, but it was so much fun, and I knew I can't picture myself doing anything else besides this now. So just being in a family of actors makes it that much better.
We didn't think that's what she was going to do, but we could tell that she had a natural vocal ability and was a ham in front of an audience. She liked a good audience. This question.
What are your dream roles? Let's see. For Broadway, personally, in musical theater, I'm a big fan of Hamilton. I know it's a very popular answer, but I would love to play Eliza in Hamilton. The Prom is another really beautiful show that has great representation. So any role in that, I would be happy to play because it's a lovely show. What about you?
You know, I it sounds strange. I don't really have a role that I just have to play in my career. But I look forward. I hope that we can actually perform in a show together. Doesn't have to be opposite each other. That would be great, but that would be a dream for me. And strangely, it's a role I'll never play, but I always really wanted to play the engineer in Miss Saigon. But kiss that one goodbye. Number 5. How important is it for theater to open and expand its concept of what American theater looks like?
Very important.
I think that the American theater as it is now, it's going through a change because of the pandemic, of course. But I think coming out on the other side, I think we'll realize that it has to evolve into something different than it was because it's not available to everyone.
Yeah.
Especially Broadway theater. I would say it's unfortunately it's for the elite. It's very expensive. And people have to save so much money to come to New York and see these shows, and
for a very unique experience that some people only get to experience once. So, not to cut you off.
No. I want to hear.
Besides the countless jobs that theater offers, it's such a special experience that I feel like everyone should get to have at least once in their lifetime, whether you are part of the show or whether you're going to see the show. It's so important and it's a beautiful thing to witness. So I really hope that in some shape or form, even if it's not the same way as it was before the pandemic, that it can come back as soon as it can.
I mean, it's already going through a change that's making it more inclusive to all actors of all ethnicities, all cultures. And I think that's an important change that when we come out on the other side, that will hopefully be a permanent change in American theater.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This has been 5 Questions with the Russos. Thank you, American Theater.
Thank you.
Yay! Hello, Leslie. Michael, it is. Are we going to have a Michael Bobbitt sighting? Is that why we have the heads?
This is the 2D preview.
I love these because when I was here the first 3 months, they would just pop up randomly in the office. I was like, "What? Oh, that's Michael." Michael.
I will never, ever live that down. Leon, I'm going to make Leon heads just to get you back. And I'm going to mail them to everyone that we know. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Hello, my dear. I'm very well. I miss you. It's so good to see your face.
I miss you too. Are you in North Carolina right now?
Your face. And
oh, man. Leon, seriously, that thing pops up in the least.
I saw it. Was it your Valentine's? It popped up in your Valentine's?
Yes, Karen Vincent, who did a song for Steve, which she did her intro as me, saying how much she loves Steve with that big old head there.
Oh.
I owe you so big time for this.
My favorite though was this Go ahead, Leslie.
I have 10 of these. I mean, I could have a chorus line of people holding Michael Bobbitt faces in front of them doing a kick line.
Oh my gosh.
But is it? But Michael, it's a testament to the love that you brought to adventure and why you have such a still a really amazing, powerful presence here. So I just want to thank you for that gift.
Well, thank you, but it also is a testament to Leon's sadistic nature.
Okay, we have to get ourselves back on track because we're starting to get off the rails. All right, so I know that Michael, and I know that Jean will be coming on sometime soon. Once apparently she's zhuzhing up for you, Michael, and so she'll jump on board. But I think we're gonna roll. So you want to set up the Karen Vincent video?
Yes, I got the chance to talk to Karen Vincent, one of my favorite voices of all times. She's starred in 3 or 4 shows at Adventure Theater, and I just think she's incredible. But we got a chance to talk about how we met, some of the projects we worked on, and also I think she's going to sing a song from Blueberries for Sal.
Yay! So let's roll the video. And again, everyone, text adventure to 56651. That's adventure to 56651 for a donation.
Good to see you again. I miss you so very much.
Hi, Michael. Look, it's Karen and Michael between 2 ferns.
I don't know if that's a fern, and also it's fake.
Mine's real, and it's a fern.
Wow, we can't all be Karen Vincent's, can we?
No.
But I like your ukulele and your banjo on your wall. I have to get a match.
Oh, thank you. And I have a guitar too.
And she exists because she keeps me on point. That look reminds me of my mom's look when she was upset.
I love that.
She's amazing. I'm so excited to see you, and we're going to hear a song from you today, sung by, was it a partridge, right?
Yes, Mother Partridge.
And birds are like a crazy part of my life right now because moving here to Cambridge, which is strange because I live about 4 blocks from Harvard, but no one told me that there are wild turkeys walking around on the streets. And so I remember the first day I was walking down the street towards Harvard, I heard a gobble. And I'm like, that's strange. Why is there a gobble? And I looked to the side and there's a big old turkey. And so I called animal control.
You did not.
I did so. I thought someone's pet turkey had gotten loose.
Right. Because, Bostonians and their pet turkeys. I'm telling you, though, you said you didn't know about the turkeys. Well, we lived in Boston, and I went to grad school there, and my daughter was born there, and we never, ever once encountered a single wild turkey. So, and my husband lived in Cambridge. We lived in all over the place, and never. It was you.
I will send you videos. I live literally.
I've seen.
You've seen it. There is one a block away from my home. The busiest street's called Massachusetts Avenue. It's the busiest street in Cambridge. There's one intersection that has 5 entry points. And one day there were about 12 turkeys in the intersection. What's strange is when
I know exactly where that intersection is.
Yeah, Putnam Triangle, I think it's called. But
oh my gosh.
Typically when people or animals or cars get close to birds, they move, like they fly away, but not turkeys.
Turkeys are very stubborn.
I don't know why we're talking.
Smart.
I don't know why we're
It's
talking
fine.
about this.
You know why, Michael? Because all of my best work in the theater has been portraying birds.
No. I think you're well, you've been good at playing birds, and you also were brilliant at playing a turtle, which is the first time we met.
Yes.
I remember because there was a former employee that said, you have to get to know Karen. She's amazing. She said that she took time off from performing to raise her children. You're 2 beautiful, awesome, slightly moody children.
Teenagers today. Timmy turned 13 today.
No, it's over now. But
anyway,
but she said you were trying to get back into theater, and so I remember you came to audition, and I had low expectations. I really did.
You're like, great.
But then you sang, and I was like, and I don't know if you remember what I said to you. I said, "Oh, all right, well, you got the role." And you were like, "What?" I was like, "No." I was like, "You're cast." And you were like, "What?" I was like, "You're cast." You didn't believe me.
No, I did not. Like, okay.
It's true. Honestly, you're one of my favorite voices, and one of my favorite performances of yours was Kate at Next Stop Theater Company. Kiss Me, Kate. Your first Helen Hayes nomination.
Yeah. That was super fun. I really had a good time doing that because you kind of let me do whatever I wanted.
Well, we have great artists. We have great artists. You just let them do what they do.
Yeah, so it was definitely very fun. Got to switch things up, and I loved all the physicality, the climbing and the jumping and the running,
the fighting, the fighting, and then sing a big high note.
Yeah, you know, the Queen of the Night. Just added that in there.
It's amazing, and I know you. I mean, your career in DC has just been tremendous. I'm so sorry to find out that Guys and Dolls at Fords was not able to happen, but I was so looking forward to coming down and seeing you shine in that role.
Yes, it was a fantastic show. It was amazing, and honestly, you know, I felt bummed that it was canceled because of COVID. But in the grand scheme, like compared to what was happening in the world, I was like, okay, worse things could happen. But honestly, I would do it again for the rehearsal process. Like it was fantastic, and everyone was so talented, and there was so much amazing dancing and amazing singing, and it was such like a colorful, exciting show. I learned a lot as an actor, because Sarah Brown's not exactly the most exciting of characters, if you don't know.
I'm sure you brought some excitement to it. There's a ton of depth.
You know, I tried to.
You go.
Well, I tried to focus on, you know, every time I watched it, I'm like, gosh, I feel like she's more interesting than this, you know? And I think she is, you know, she's this young woman who has become a sergeant in the Salvation Army, and she's young, you know, in the 50s or we were playing it in the 30s, but when, you know, women didn't have these positions, right? And she wasn't married, and she was out in the city talking to all these people, and so she's like a spitfire, and she's I think she has a good sense of humor, obviously, and yeah, so I just tried to really focus on those parts of her personality, and she was more fun, I thought.
She's turned to religion, so what is she running away from? Sarah Brown. So I'm so excited because we get to relive one of my favorite moments in adventure theater history, which is hearing you sing a song from Blueberries for Sal. I don't know if you know the history of that show in Sandy and I, but the first year I was producing at Adventure Theater, Sandy Eskin, my co-writer, said, you need to look at this book, Blueberries for Sal. And I looked at it, and I knew that McCloskey wrote Make Way for Ducklings, and that same team is working on Make Way for Ducklings. But for some reason, that book didn't inspire me. When I did research on it, I couldn't find a lot of information about that book. And so I kind of like passed on it. And then Sandy mentioned it again, maybe 2 years prior to the production. And I was like, yeah, great, let's do it. And so we got Bill Yanis on the team, one of the best composers, I think, in American musical theater right now, frankly, and can't wait for him to have his moment. But as soon as we started writing the piece, we thought of you. So we wrote that show with you in mind.
Well, it was honestly, that was such a fantastic show. From day one to the last show we did, the cast was amazing, and obviously the show and the music was fantastic, and then the production team was amazing, and it was just like we all like just loved each other and had such respect for each other, and we all had such fun together, and it was like every detail was just, you know, so it gave us as performers just this amazing canvas to work with, you know, like we got to invent these characters, and we had this awesome set with these awesome costumes and the beautiful lighting and Dre's puppets.
Yes, I have a story about the puppets. So yeah, the cast, for the most part, I think most of the cast did the workshop, but you all helped us really sort of fine tune the script. So when I found out that Dre was on board, I was like, oh, I got to create puppets, because the play did not have any puppets. And so I literally went through the whole play and was like, I'm going to add puppets just because Dre is on board. And of course, my favorite puppet was Uncle Moose.
Yes. You had no point in the story at all.
No point in the story, literally. And my favorite part, and the kids loved it. Like he came in, walked in, ate some blueberries, and left.
Danced. So we had choreography for a 2-person puppet that was over our heads. We couldn't see anything, and we had to dance in that thing. It was so fun.
Did you get to be the head and the tail?
I was only ever the head. I was the only person who played as the head. So,
that's because you're.
And that thing on Dre's wall in her house.
Say it again.
Well, that's because I said the head is hanging on Dre's wall in her house. It's beautiful.
I saw that on Facebook. But yeah, we added the stick man and the cloud puppets. It just was so, and then all the birds and stuff. It just was so much fun. So, yeah.
And then the birds. So speaking of the birds, they came in for the song that I'm going to sing. And they're partridges, and it's his mother partridge, and she has these little baby partridges. And so I'm in a costume like a partridge, and then the other women in the show were playing the baby puppet, the baby partridges puppets. This is one of my favorite moments. I have this problem where I love when things go wrong in shows because I think it's hilarious. And one of the puppets' legs flew off while I was singing, and they were all laughing, and I was trying to get through it, and it was just the funniest thing.
That's hysterical.
But yes, but it was fun. It was great.
The magic of live theater. I think what we discovered, we decided at some point in the process to make the show all female cast. Mm-hmm. Even though in the book, the little bear uses he pronouns. Mm-hmm. But we just Bill liked the sound of an all female cast. Mm-hmm. And then when we were writing it, I also loved the relationships between mothers and daughters. And so throughout the whole play, it really was about 4 different mothers and their relationships with their daughters.
Yeah.
So I'd love you to set up the song and tell us a little bit about the partridge's character and why she's singing what she's singing.
All right. Well, so Mother Partridge is this very flamboyant character. We decided she had this amazing cape with feathers on it, and so she has these little babies who have yet to fly. And as we know from nature, mama birds don't mess around. They're like, okay, bye. And they're like, jump off, or I'm going to push you out of the nest. And that was kind of that encapsulates the personality of Mother Partridge. And so she's teaching her babies, like, look, you just got to put your nose to the wind. You got to pick your wings up. And you just got to go for it. And it's great, but you just got to do it. So we're going to do this.
I love that. You're going to do that with Timmy?
Oh, no. He's not really that coordinated. Maybe.
That would be Well, everyone, my friends, we get to hear Miss Karen Vincent reprise her role as Mama Partridge and sing Learn to Fly. Thank you so much, Karen. It's good to see you again.
Mama Partridge is determined to teach her babies how to fly. The problem is that partridges are flightless birds. Well, this does not deter Mama Partridge. She's convinced that her babies shall be the first. And she's also convinced that she can talk this little bear into flying too. Well, put your mind to it, and you can do anything. If I should see some giant bear, you think I would sit there and be seen? Stop for a chat with a vicious predator. Not that you know what I mean. If not, the point is, dear child, if you see a predator you fear, child, turn and run. See a threat and adjust. Leave them down in the dust. Child, you simply must learn to fly. Either learn to fly, or else you'll be someone's dinner by and by. I would never lie. If you learn to fly, you could outrun those humans for good. Learn to fly, how I wish that I could. No, I cannot fly, but my baby shall be the first partridges to do it. Robins and crows all teach their young. Quails and their mothers sit and learn. Meanwhile the partridge has to flutter, flutter around waiting her turn. No, 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 I shall holler when all the world tells you to bring smaller. I say big, 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 I want better for you. You'll sail into the blue. There's one thing to do. Let's go learn to fly, at least you should try. Never look up and think life has passed you by. Let's go learn to fly, either learn to fly or delete one, take it from me. You could wind up stuck in some pear tree. Let's run, let's climb, while the wind's picking up, darling, now is the time to fly.
Hey, yay! There's Jean, and so nice to have you in here. I know it's like, look, I'm gonna leave the room so that we can have a good time together.
Hey, John, how are you?
Because we put this segment up, by the way, Michael, and Jean was like, "Oh no, that's the hour I want." Like in seconds. So I was like, "Okay, good, awesome." So the two of you enjoy yourselves. But we just, in about 2 minutes or so, we do need to roll to the next one because we have a hard out because we have to do a handoff. But I'm going to leave the space so the two of you can enjoy yourselves.
Yes, go and drink some coffee. You got 28 hours to go.
28 hours and 59 minutes.
So SMs, you can take me out and let these two lovebirds enjoy themselves.
Hi, Jean. How are you?
Hello, hello.
I was just looking. We've known each other since 2010 from
That's
Leadership
right.
Montgomery. That's a long time.
Right. And we discovered along the way that we actually have a friend in common that I've known since I was a kid because we danced together.
Right.
And you were on Broadway with them, right?
Well, on tour with him, Jason Lacayo. I hope he's watching. Hope he's giving money. Jason, give money.
I need to peg him on Facebook.
Good, because he's making money, so he should make some.
I know.
Give back. How are you? How is the family?
Everyone is great. I actually tried to find a pair of my old point shoes that are somewhere in this house so I could show them to you, but I couldn't find them. They're somewhere. And my kids laughed at me.
Oh wow, that's funny. I have a pair of
point shoes.
I have a pair of point shoes. They were size 13 when I played one of the stepsisters in Petty Paw Cinderella.
Oh my goodness. How did your feet get in them?
Barely. And luckily we were supposed to be bad. So I did a good job of being bad.
Okay. Well, that's very good. That's very good. Yeah. Yeah, you got me into all this.
I did.
11 years ago.
I know that's true. You have been with the organization that long because that was right before the merger and you helped with all the PR and the press and the communications around it, the transition of the board. You've just been a rock involved.
It has come a far way and is just such an amazing nonprofit in our community. It's just such an amazing nonprofit in our community and has done so much, especially during COVID, for kids. I mean, just like you were doing in Boston, the arts are so important, especially in times like this, so kids can have an outlet. When you were here, unfortunately the schools started to get rid of the arts. And so Adventure Theater, MTC stepped in and, really gave kids an outlet. And it's just been amazing.
And we need support to make sure it keeps happening. And even after we get back from COVID, it's going to be a while before we can all really gather safely.
Right.
So theater can use everyone's support. So I'm glad you're still supporting the organization and helping to move it forward.
I just hope everyone else will support it. It's truly a need. I mean, we also need to feed our folks and make sure everyone's healthy. And the arts is the best mental health you can give someone, whether your kid's taking a class online and dancing in the living room or singing, go ahead. We need you. We need your donations and we need to help our kids. So
Give
Thank you.
money, everyone. Give money to Adventure Theater. I'm going to set up the next video because I think we have another little segment coming up. But we have our friend Evan Casey, who is a big DC bigwig, coming on to tell us a little bit about a project we did together.
Yes. Thank you,
Hi,
Michael.
John. Good to see you. Hello, Adventure Theater fans and friends. I get to sit here with my good friend, Evan Casey. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Very good. You're looking very lumberjackish with the wood in the back of you.
Well, thank you. You know, you can never be you can never be too prepared in these times. You never know, what you might have to do. So I'm fully ready for, anything that might need to come, anything I might need to use my hands for, or, be prepared for in the future.
It is true. We never know with all the weather and in quarantine, you might have to like become that lumberjack. And I'm assuming there's a shelter next to you stocked up with all kinds of canned peaches and stuff for the hard.
Exactly. We've done a lot of pickling. We've done a lot of wood chopping. Yeah, we've done a lot of, hunting. Yeah, we're all ready over here.
I can see your beautiful wife Tracy hunting.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. We would be the furthest thing from that, but yeah, I could play it. I could play it on stage very well, but in real life, useless. But
Well,
I have the look for it.
Right. Let's tell people you're preparing for a role. How is Tracy and Oscar? How are they?
They're doing well, thanks. We've, obviously, as we all know, it's been a very difficult year for everyone, but particularly those of us in the arts. But one of the silver linings has been family time and the opportunity to spend more time all together, and we've really tried to take advantage of that as much as possible, and that's been a lovely blessing. So
very good. It's great to catch up and keep up with you all on social media, especially your writing out Oscar's conversations. Those are hilarious.
He's a pistol, that guy. Yeah, never a dull moment with him around. So
we should expect to see him on stage as an actor career-wise.
He's actually been doing this thing, which has been one of the treats of this time, is he's been doing this thing called Readers Theater in school, which is that he takes part in these little sort of readings of short plays for like a half an hour every Monday, and it's his favorite part of the school week. He loves it so much, and because of this time, Tracy and I are able to be there, and he's always like, whatever else we're doing, he's like, I'm about to start my play. Come on, I'm going to start my play. Come on. So we have to go and watch, and we love watching him too. So it's great. So he participates in these little plays, but he did tell me, he was like, that's great. I can do these plays, but I don't have to do them on stage where I'd be really nervous. I can be online, and now I'm okay. So he has a good time with them.
I love that. I love you guys are finding ways to include theater in your kids' life. And what's interesting for me now in this new job I have is that I used to have to worry about one theater and the artists and the people at one theater. Now I have to worry about the arts in a whole state.
Sure, yeah. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. It's very exciting, and it's very interesting because I don't get to produce theater.
Right.
And my only option to be in the theater is as a writer, but nothing in the state. I can't do anything in the state.
Wow.
But it's exciting. I'm excited about it, and there's plenty to do. So we'll get all that happening. And you and I have known each other for a long time. I don't think I taught you at Catholic, or did I?
I don't think so.
Catholic?
I don't think you'd know. If we're being full, in the interest of full disclosure, the level at which you would have been teaching dance students was not my level. So I do many other things well, but that's not my forte. So, and I think even in Garfield, we sort of poked fun at that in a good way. But we've known each other, yes, since Catholic, because you started there when I was there. So our paths
I think you were in your last year or junior year. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But for some reason, I feel like I had you in tap though, but maybe I didn't, because I did teach beginning tap.
I don't think I ever actually. I had Tony, and I had Kelly.
Okay, so
I don't think I had you.
Right, and then we went years without working together, years and years and years. And I don't even know what first project. We've only done a few together.
Then we did a few in a row together because we did Guys and Dolls, we did Garfield, and we did Into the Woods. So we had a few sort of in a quick succession. But yeah, we had gone like 12, 15 years without sort of working together. Yeah.
I taught at Catholic in 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, 2000. That was the year you graduated, right?
I graduated a little later. I graduated in 2004. So
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a little overlap there.
Yeah, 1 and 2 I was there, and we didn't get to work together until Guys and Dolls, I think, which was 2016.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't understand it. And a huge fan, so a huge big fan. So I was happy to have the chance. And then this fun play, Garfield, the musical with Catitude, which I chased down for 5 years. I don't know if you know the story.
I don't know.
So I reached out to, I was always sort of trolling the internet to find brand titles that I thought I could bring to Adventure Theater stage. And Garfield popped up. And of course I grew up on Garfield. So I was like, I'm going to do that one. And I reached out, I got in touch with Jim's people, and they told me first he wasn't interested. But usually when they respond, I decide to keep them on a list and then go check in every 6 months or so. So I would check in and check in and check in. And about 4 years later, they were like, well, Jim is interested in talking. And so we had a conversation. And apparently there was one of those sports arena kind of huge shows like the Blues Clues and the Dora Explorers that were worked and planned, and that didn't happen. And so they were interested in having another conversation. And so it took me about a half a year to convince him to send me the script for that original production. And when I read it, frankly, it wasn't very good. And I didn't write him back for about a month. And he finally wrote me and said, I went out on a limb and I sent you the script and I just haven't heard from you. So I'm a little offended. And I was like, well, you're Jim Davis. And he was like, well, I'm a big boy. If you don't think it's good, just tell me. And so I sent him a bunch of notes and ideas. And then he sent me a note back saying that Jim and he and his wife, Jill, thought I was very smart and that we should go ahead and try revising that script. So I did. The first attempt was to revise this sports arena script. And then about a month later, he said, it's just not working. Just start all over. Create your own version of the play. So I was like, great. So then I went back and read every single comic strip from 1975 on, watched every movie, watched every TV show, and every book that was written out, and happened upon this idea that it was Garfield's birthday. And that was the thing that sort of tapped into it. And then you popped in my head one day as the perfect Garfield. I don't know how that was, me reaching out to you. Did you have any?
Well, no, it was great. Well, it did. I mean, it came. Look, as actors, the greatest thing we ever want. Well, as any creator, collaborator, anything we ever want is someone to say, "Hey, I have a project for you. What do you think?" Like that's the greatest thing. Like, oh, I don't have to go to you. Like I don't have to reach out. Like this is wonderful. But it did when you reached out to me. First of all, it was very flattering that you thought of me for, particularly because you were creating it. But it was also, it did have make sense to me because there is a lot of, I wouldn't have naturally thought instinctually that I had quite such a close connection and kindred spirit nature with Garfield. But when I sat back and I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, this dude is me. Like he's, when the minute he wakes up, he's over it. He doesn't really have time for anybody unless they have something to provide him. Not that this is me in any way, but I could absolutely see that part of me, where there's just a lot of, but the overall attitude of feeling as though you only need to put out minimal effort in the world and the world should be at the ready to be at your disposal whenever you need it, is very much something I could appreciate and connect to. So I really loved, I love the fact that you thought of me for it, and I loved diving into it because there's a lot of playful id there in Garfield that I think we can all relate to, and just being able to voice those kinds of things that we are all thinking all the time out loud is really great.
Yeah, he gets away with it. He gets away with what the things that most people cannot get away with. And the reason why you popped, I felt like we had some interaction only like during that process. And I remember you said something that was so funny. I don't even remember what it is, but you said something that was so funny, and that was the moment it popped in my head, because it was sort of dry and hysterical at the same time. And you're such a great actor. And when Jim and I talked, we didn't want what he called the skip and wave show, which is like people doing cartoons and like waving and stuff. We wanted like real acting. And so you popped in my head. I also remember you didn't get back to me right away. And because I was trolling the internet, I found your wife and I sent her a message. Do you remember how she told me that you accepted the role?
What did she say? She said it from the bathroom. What did she say?
She said, Evan sitting on the toilet. He says yes.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. And again, that sounds very Garfield. That sounds correct.
When that happened, I was like, it's perfect. It's perfect. Right. Perfect. So how was it doing a role that everyone knows? Like everyone has a relationship to Garfield.
Sure, of course. It was a little nerve-wracking because obviously you feel you want to make sure that you give honor to and do service to the history of the role and what people expect of it. And so I wanted to make sure. So I like you, read a lot of the comics, watched a lot of the movies. Not to do obviously any kind of imitation of anybody else's performance, but to get at the idea of what Jim Davis was aiming for, and who this cat but this manifestation of humanity in a cat is. And I wanted to make sure that certainly that I honored the role, but also that Jim Davis and a character that is so close to his heart, and that he clearly knows the insides and outsides of, having been a part of who he is for so long, that he was satisfied with it as well, and that he felt good about it.
And he was.
But mostly, yeah, as you said, just making sure that he is, if you have a Mount Rushmore of cartoon strip panel characters, Garfield is up there. And people who come to see the show, young and old alike, have a personal connection with him. So wanting to make sure that I physicalized him in a way that people connected to immediately and really felt that they knew who he was.
It's great. And when Jim came to see the rehearsal, because he couldn't see the performance, he was crying, laughing so hard. He was so happy and so satisfied. And he and I still text once or twice a year whenever there's a new production.
Mm-hmm.
There have been about 10 or so productions, even down in Australia, which is kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
And your name is forever in the script as the person who originated the role of Garfield, which and also you've done other sort of iconic roles, especially from kids in the kids world, because you got to play Elephant in Elephant and Piggy.
Yeah, Elephant Gerald. Yeah. Well, that's always so good. It's always such a treasured experience to do something that obviously when you originate it, but also like having done the demo recording and things of that nature for the show. It's nice to know that people who will whether it's creative team members or actors themselves who will stumble upon it in the future will in the same way that I researched the role in looking at whether it was the Bill Murray Garfield movie or some of the old cartoons, some of the old strips, will use some of what I put out there as research for what they will do. I will have some kind of influence on people's interpretations of the role, forever in some way, because they will get clues from what we put into the script, the jokes we made, or they'll get clues from the cast recording of sort of how and in what way this story can be told. And that's a really a great gift to know that that's something that I contributed to.
Well, I appreciate your performance so much, and every time I see it again, I compare all those Garfields to you, and That Garfield has opened up many, many doors and is maybe helping to pay for Sang's college. So I appreciate you very, very much. And then we're going to get to hear a song from you. It's called Garfield Soliloquy. Do you want to set it up for us before we?
Sure. Well, this is the 11 o'clock number, so to speak. I guess in children's theater talk, it would probably be about 11 o'clock a.m., but nevertheless, still 11 o'clock number, the sort of big penultimate number when Garfield has finally learned that sort of going his own way, living life by himself and making his own decisions without connection to anybody else is not necessarily all it's cracked up to be. He's sort of been through his stumbles and pitfalls and now has learned his lesson and realizes that ultimately home is where he needs to be and where he has his friends and what he needs, and that's ultimately where he should get back to.
Very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Casey. Evan, please say hi to Oscar and Tracy. And I know someday we'll get a chance to work together, but it has been a pleasure, such a pleasure working with you and knowing with you.
You too, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
My souffle's flat. My creme brulee's got no fat. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Everything! Soda pop's not sweet. Just bones to eat. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. This food's not hot, but it's all I got. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. I miss having meringue piled up so high. Extra cheese on my pizza pie. Sleeping all day, soaking up the sun. What have I done? 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 I miss having my fill of whatever John's got. Having my coffee piping hot. Scratching my ears and making a plan. Seeing my friends again. Seeing my friends again. Seeing my friends again. I'm so off track that I'm out of whack. It's time to pack, so I'm going back. This was almost fun, but who wants to run? I'd rather sit in the sun. I'd rather sit in the sun. I'd rather sit in the sun, so I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm out.
Yay!
It was so much fun to hear it again.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see the history of adventure that people just, it's 70 years, and you were there really. The kind of the leap forward was your tenure here. So, I really appreciate what you've done and what you did for adventure.
And now you're raising a baby.
It is, yes. Thank you all for who are tuning in to us right now. This is the second block. We are into our fourth hour of our 30-hour Stream-a-thon. We are with the amazing Michael Bobbitt, who has been an important part of Adventure Theater's history. So thank you for coming back and joining us. I know that you have another segment.
Yeah. Thank Chill. I mean, my friendship with you went back to the early days at Adventure Theater, and I'm so happy that you are there with Leon running the ship and Margot running the ship, and so I'm so excited to be there. But I was going to tell you a little bit about the next video. This is starring. We got a chance to sit down with Felicia Curry and just sort of reminisce with her, and she's again one of my favorite performers. And this is another show that we wrote with her in mind, and so this got to perform way back when. So stay tuned in a second for Felicia Curry doing a little bit of chit chat about Miranda and Brother Wind.
Yeah, I love her voice. So let's roll that video. And remember, text adventure to 5651. That's adventure to 5651. I'm just basically filling in as the video rolls.
Michael Bobbitt. my heart.
I know. I'm so happy to be in the room with you.
Same here.
And
Same
I
here.
miss you so much. Miss you so
I
much.
miss you too.
You know, it wouldn't be so bad if COVID wasn't around. I could
I
actually pop down to DC and see my friends. But
And just give you a big old hug.
yeah. You know, I was trying to think earlier today in anticipation of seeing you, like how many projects we did together. And I couldn't quite remember them all.
I was gonna say, I know I'm gonna forget one. Obviously, Mirandy comes up, Lily comes up, Oliver comes up. I know there's more. I know I'm forgetting something.
Well, there's Ragtime.
Ragtime. See, exactly.
Right, Ragtime, and then
Spelling bee.
Spelling bee. I forgot about
Spelling
Spelling bee.
Yep.
Did we do something else at Ford's?
Did you do Little Shop?
I didn't do Little Shop,
You didn't do Little Shop.
but we had a Helen Hayes Award.
Oh,
and I
yes.
choreographed. You were in.
Yes.
I feel like there was something else at Adventure, but I cannot.
I feel like there was too, and I can't remember what it was. No, that we're seasoned. That's how you know we're seasoned.
I know.
What?
One
Petit
to
Rouge.
Miss Island. Oh,
And
Petit
Petit
Rouge.
Rouge.
Petit Rouge, right.
And one's on
right.
Miss Island.
And one's Miss Island. That's a lot. That's a lot. You might win between you and Nick and Jerry.
Yep. Oh,
I think you're the people I work with the most in DC.
oh, that makes me feel really special because I know how many people you work with and how often you work with them. So to be at the top of that makes me feel really good.
Honestly, it was whenever you showed up, I was like, yes. I mean, there were times I'm like, why are we even auditioning? Yes, she's in. What?
Well, Michael, and you always make me look good, and you make me do things I didn't know I was capable of doing. I go back to thinking about Spelling Bee, and the one thing that everybody talked about was walking on those hands during that song. I would have never done that, Michael Bobbitt. That was you. You said, do that, it'll be fine.
It's you and your body. Your body can do everything. It did almost break your body a little bit, though.
You did, just a tiny bit, but I recovered. That is the one time I got an injury on stage, but I recovered. And
you were out for a minute.
I was for a week, but it was worth it because that little moment in the show was magical.
We should tell everyone what that moment was.
Yes, so I played Marcy Park, and during 6 languages, I would do a round off handspring across the Ford stage, which if you don't know is raked. And we were going and we were doing really well. And one day I landed and I was like, oh, I can't walk. So I hobbled, my calf, popped my calf muscle and hobbled off the stage, wincing. It hurt so badly, but fully recovered. And again, totally worth it. It was such a great show, such a great number. Yeah, you got me doing things I just didn't know I was capable of doing. So I will always forever indebted for that.
I was going to direct it at New Rep, and I almost called you.
I was waiting for that phone call, Michael.
And every artist that I auditioned was like, they're not Felicia Curry. So so there's no one. So, but what's funny about that moment is that musically it was it? She knows, whatever.
Yep, that's exactly it.
I just imagine one flip on each of those she knows. Probably virtually impossible. Virtually impossible. But
please, on that stage, definitely impossible.
The other moment I remember was that I was like, Michael, that can only be done in the movie version. So why are you thinking about this when we have special effects and high wires? And so you did like a beam walk on the railing at the back of the benches.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And in my brain, I was like, that'll only work, but let me just ask her. And you were like, oh, sure.
Hi everybody, how are you? Hey, sorry, we lost. We're having a little technical difficulty with the video, so we're gonna play it again. Can we move it forward it like a minute into that, and then I'll just stay here and then we'll play it because we only have 20 minutes left in this block.
In New York.
There you go. So go ahead now.
So what a great show. And again, working with you is just such a pleasure. What a great show. What a great cast.
It was a super great cast. Like that team, you and and Tracy and my baby Sienna and LC.
Billy Bastante.
LC did do it. And then Billy came in.
And then Billy came in.
Because Isaiah Johnson was too good for us, getting on Broadway and all that stuff. So, but the one big sad thing was like when you couldn't do Guys and Dolls at Olney.
I still think about that.
That paycheck at Ford's was too hot.
Yep, but that part, still think about it because I fought for that one too.
Yeah,
because I feel like there were people who did not want me to have that. I was like, just let me show you, but let me show you.
Yeah, I love it. So we're here and we're talking about my favorite children's theater in the whole country, and we'll get to Mirandi, but Mirandi was really the first commission that Adventure Theater gave me, and I was so excited, and it actually changed the trajectory of the theater because. When I got there, like the first show we produced, Michael Barron, the first show I produced as artistic director, Michael Barron directed, and we had a diverse cast and diverse artistic team doing diversity before people even thought about it. And I knew that it was going to take a minute before I could really introduce like an all Black show to the audiences and to the board and all that kind of stuff, because it was just not something that they had ever seen before. And so I was so happy about Mirandi. I remember being in the bookstore with Sang, who was like a monster now, 19 years old.
I can't.
No,
again,
sophomore college. Sophomore college. But I remember like seeing this book cover, and the first thing I thought, I was like, look at Felicia Curry on the book cover of this book that I have no idea what it is, but I thought that's Felicia Curry. And then I look at the back cover, Mirandi and Brother Win, for our patrons that don't remember, is about a little girl that wants to win the annual cakewalk because you win a cake. And that's kind of the simple story.
Yep.
But she learns through the process that, you know, enslaving people and making them do what you need them to do is all bad. So it's a really coming of age story. But the back cover talked about the cakewalk, which was a dance, in 1906 Ridgetop, South Carolina, which has a musical feel to it, and a little girl who had big aspirations. And I was like, that's a musical.
Yep.
And it's going to star Felicia Curry. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to make it happen. And so I did. So I don't know what you want to tell me about your experience doing Mirandi and Brother Wayne.
I love that story. So here's the thing. I love theater for young audiences, right? I love TYA. I know I made sort of a move away from it to do other things, but I am fully committed to helping children understand how to navigate this world through the art of theater. And Mirandi and the Brother Wind is just a prime example of me marrying all of the things that I love about the theater. It's a musical, so I love to sing. It had a beautiful, big dance element that I loved. It talked about family. It was teaching the young people, as you said, a coming of age story, a young girl learning about herself, learning about her culture, creating friendships. So this was, it is a musical, but this was a play. You know, this was a play with a very, very serious, rooted, grounded story that happened to have music and that happened to be for young audiences. And I say that to say I'm really proud of that work and that it's part of my career trajectory. And I thank you for including me in that and creating that space for me to really dig into what it means to be a storyteller, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say that we wrote it with you in mind, all those little.
No, this is news to me.
Oh, I didn't tell you this?
No, no.
We wrote it with your voice in mind.
Oh my God.
All those sort of sassy, precocious lines. I'm like, Felicia Curry. I was literally writing with you in mind.
I did not know that.
The other thing that was funny is that John and I thought we wrote this really cute, sort of thin, light musical comedy. And when you and Jennifer Nelson got your hands on it, it became like one of the most moving things I see. I remember there's a moment in Act 2, you probably don't even remember this, but it's like a little songlet. It's like not even like 2 lines of a song, like a little reprise. And she says, I forget the first part of the lyric, but the second part is, I even ran off my best friend.
Oh, yep.
And it tore me and John up. It just ripped my heart out. And it was like, that's what dramatization can do. And that's when you give something over to great artists, that's what can happen from that moment. The other thing about the show is that
it surprises me that you all even thought you made something thin, because what you saw was what was given to me on the page. And yes, we crafted moments around that, but the reality is what you saw, you and John Cornelia, you all gave that to us. It was all there.
Good.
Really, music just enhanced it and made it bigger and more important, and the stakes were so high. I mean, everything that great theater is.
Puppets, singing birds, dancing wind.
Dancing winds.
The other thing I loved about it is that it was Adventure Theater's first National Endowment for the Arts grant. And part of the vision was that we would not only have an all-Black cast and production, but also an all-Black production team. The only person that was not Black, but she's Black in my heart, is Dre Moore, who did the puppet.
Yes, you already know.
But everyone else on the team was Black. It was really special. And we co-produced it with the African Continuum Theater Company.
Yep.
And the show went to the Atlas. Remember that? Was it like
I do.
Was it a 3-week run? I forget. I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 weeks.
Sold out.
Yep.
Like we were turning away people at the
And I was going to say, and could have run significantly longer.
Just a piece of magic. Just a piece of magic. And as I think about race equity, think about where this world is coming, and I'm trying to tell people that diversity is not only a great thing to do, because you're talking about showing people love that have never been loved by this country before, but it's also good for business.
Tell them about it, Bobbitt. Tell them.
Oh, I mean, like, whatever I do, whatever. Right. I mean, like, when we do a show, we're going to have, like, tons of people get on the bus, come see the show. So
that's great. Because people want to see theater that's about them. And if you produce it, they will come. They will come. Stop underestimating them. They will come.
We're going to get you back in the TYA world. I think TYA is amazing, and I think it's...
I love it. Well, I did Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus.
Oh, you
last
did?
year with Jerry. Good. I did. And the same thing there. Again, given material that to other eyes might seem thin, but about friendship. And how do I maintain that? And what am I capable of outside of what people think I'm capable of? And I love to talk about this because the diversity really gets picked up in this. My character was the bus driver, and she loved driving the bus. She took enormous pride in it. And I can't tell you how many young people would come up to me or would tell volunteers and ushers how nice it was to see a parent, an uncle, a cousin represented on stage, because that's not something they had seen before. Diversity, inclusion.
We won't have it until we do it now and show the kids that.
That's it.
The reason why I'm in theater, I'm sure you are, is because at some point when I was 7 or 8 years old, I went to see Porgy and Bess, and I was like, wait a second. There are people that aren't in Oklahoma or in Gary, Indiana.
True.
That are up there doing that thing that I keep seeing on the TV. I gotta do that. I gotta do that. So it's great.
Yep.
What I mean, I know COVID is now, it's crazy, but and I'm sure you have like so many more roles you want to do. Are you still forging forward with being an actor? Because I think there's a I mean, listen to you talk about it, Felicia Curry. There is an artistic director in there.
Okay, you need to. Okay.
This is the first time I mentioned this to you.
It's not at all. I mean, I see myself moving forward as an actor, but I will say I want to continue, and I will never say never. So let me say that. I will never say never. I don't know what the possibilities are. I believe they're endless. But I do believe in the power of theater and what it's able to create. I do believe if you make it accessible to everyone, they will come and they will see it. I believe that those who are talking about struggling because the numbers aren't there or the money isn't there, haven't put enough effort into the community which they serve. And I say that as a universal thing. I won't just talk about DC. I think I will say that for the country. If we really step back and you take a look at the people you should be serving, your whole community, can you say that you're doing that with your theater and how you reach out to your community? If you can't say that, you have to make a change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the other end of that, I say that I want to be an artist who is committed to that as well. So I want to be part of projects that reflect the community that I'm in, that reflect my community. I want to be working on shows that tell stories that are important to me and important to, my family, the family that comes after me, the community. I want to continue to do that. And I'm talking to somebody who already knows that. But I don't want to do stories about trauma all of the time.
Yep.
We have other stories.
I'm just going to say it again. That's artistic director talk. That is and let me just say the other thing about artistic directors is that we can make those things happen. We can assure that those things happen. So put it in your put it in the back of your head, because we need you. We need your great art leading organizations and making a big difference. I'm excited to spend some time with you, and we're gonna get to hear a song from Miranda and Brother Wind. There are a couple of videos on YouTube, but I just thought to hear you.
Oh, I should tell you that when I went down to Richmond to do Color Purple, most of that cast told me that how they knew me was because they had seen a YouTube video of Miranda and the Brother Wind. That is how they knew who I was.
Your claim to fame.
And loved it.
Your claim to fame. So we're going to get to hear how you interpret it now after, oh, wow, almost 10 years.
Yeah, yep.
Almost 10 years. See what new thoughts and what new energy you have coming by. Do you want to set up the song?
Sure. So you've already talked about Miranda desperately wanting to be part of this cakewalk competition so that she could win this cake. And this is her explaining why and her love and appreciation for it.
There you have it, friends. Felicia Curry, and we're going to enjoy her singing Miranda and Brother Wind. Cakewalk written by John Cornelius. I love you so much.
I love you back. It was so good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
There's gonna be a cakewalk this Saturday night. I'm gonna strut at the cakewalk till my heels take flight. Gonna polish my dancing shoes. There's no way I'm gonna lose that cakewalk this Saturday night. Got years worth of practice filling up my toes. Last year I should have won, but I froze. Until I win, I ain't gonna rest. Show me that step where you pump your chest. I wanna come out smelling like a high-strutting grand champion. triple-decker winning rose when I win that cakewalk this Saturday night. Gonna strut at the cakewalk, and I'll be a sight. Spit shine my dancing shoes, I'm trading in my terpsichorean blues at the cakewalk. Give me that cakewalk, gonna win that cakewalk this Saturday night. There's gonna be a cakewalk this Saturday night. Gonna strut at the cakewalk till my heels take flight. Gonna polish my dancing shoes, there's no way I'm gonna lose that cakewalk this Saturday night. Got years worth of practice filling up my toes. Last year I should have won, but I froze. Until I win, I ain't gonna rest. Show me that step where you pump your chest. I wanna come out smelling like a high-strutting grand champion, triple-decker winning rose when I win that cakewalk this Saturday night. Gonna strut at the cakewalk, and I'll be a sight. Spit shine my dancing shoes, I'm trading in my terpsichorean blues at the cakewalk. Oh, give me that cakewalk, gonna claim that cakewalk this Saturday night.
Wow. Wow. Let's hear it for Felicia Curry and all of our other guests and Michael J. Bobbitt, who had to jump off, but we still have his presence. I think he's really tired of these. Thank you so much. Again, we're here to raise money today. We're trying to get to $100,000 to reopen the theater, bringing home the adventure. So please text adventure to 56651. Again, adventure to 56651. You can also check out our auction. There's still many amazing prizes that have not had their first bid. So you can sneak in there, get that bid in, and get a super duper deal. So make sure you check out those as well. So again, every 2 hours we have to stop and we need to refresh our screens. So in just about 60 seconds, I'm going to cut out here. And then you're going to need to, whether you're watching on our YouTube channel or whether you're watching on ClickBid, you just need to hit refresh in about 60 seconds and Chill will be waiting for you. He's already excited to share the next segment with you. So again, text adventure to 56651. And I guess we will go switch over to Chill.